I had a 400-pound silverback gorilla, and I became one of three people in the world that could touch him.
What? Tell me
Yeah,
what?
it was so crazy, man.
How
Uh,
did that happen?
so he'd been in captivity since he was a baby, and the couple zookeepers uh, raised him. What sucks is he came in with a female, and she died, and then these zookeepers would go in the cage with him to clean the cage,
Yeah.
and he kept getting bigger and bigger, and he wouldn't harm them, but he wouldn't let them leave the cage. So
Mm.
basically, he would like the last time they went in the cage, he seriously had a guy in there for like 8 hours. Where like he just grabbed him and wouldn't let him leave. He wasn't hurting him. He just so much stronger than any human,
Yeah.
And he just like uh,
He
but
wanted him to. What
he
he
just
wanted him to hang
wanted
out.
he just wanted a friendship. They're communal animals, so it's super
Yeah.
sad. So by me going and just sitting with him, I gained his trust, and it was really cool. I got some pretty cool old black and white pictures of me petting him and shit. But he
And,
was huge,
and
huge.
wow, dude, but to feel confident to get that close,
Yeah, man.
like what's the first sign that he trusts you enough
So
for
the
you to start to move closer?
so the other two zookeepers that could touch him, they're like, he's doing the display that tells us it's okay to touch him. So he's doing that for you. So like, I guess he wants you to do it. So I just reach the bars and pet him. You know,
Woo, dude, that's awesome.
and I mean, I don't know if you've ever touched a 400-pound gorilla, but it's a it's a very powerful creature that you're like, holy fuck, this thing is
Yeah, dude,
amazing.
that's crazy.
And just and
And but when you touched it, was it you you let your hand linger there? How'd the gorilla react?
so
Like,
what
what
he
was the whole
does,
deal?
okay, so his display was he'll he'll bite his inside of an arm. So basically, he puts his arm like this and bites himself, like not hard, obviously, but he's just like that. And he bends over, and when he bends over, he like presents you his belly. So his head's way up there. Then you could reach in, and they're like, when he comes out of that posture, pull your hand the fuck back away. So
No.
basically, when he was in that position, that's when I could do it. And then if he ever came out, you just,
How long do you think he was in that position?
I mean, he'd do it for a minute at a time at the most.
That's super cool.
I mean, I have
And
so many stories that you wouldn't even believe about this shit, man.
I would like to hear one.
So he smoked cigarettes. The
Who
craziest
did?
shit. The gorilla, man. So people would come to the zoo, and over the years he was there, people would throw cigarettes in his cage, like lit cigarettes. And then he would mimic what the people were doing. And by doing that, he was really inhaling it, and he became like addicted to cigarettes. So like he would he would like if he saw you smoking, he would be like reaching through the bar like, "Hey, give me a cigarette." And then
That's crazy.
and like I swear to God, he'd get it and he'd be like, and he'd take a hit and hold it like fucking, and he'd
That
be like,
is crazy.
so then they wanted me to like take a hose and like squirt the cigarette out because they don't want him smoking. And like,
Yeah, like, but how do you I mean, so he was jonesing. Is that what he just went
He's
cold turkey?
jonesing for cigarettes, yeah. So, but
And
like,
what and what and like what did that do to his behavior? What does a gorilla jonesing for nicotine look like?
well, you know what? Though I'll say I never successfully put the cigarette out with a hose because his hand was so fucking big that he would hold it facing inward and just cup it like this, and you could spray water right on that, and it wouldn't even fucking go out. And then he'd
That's
just
fun.
go, and he'd fucking. I mean, I swear to God, see him take a hit and then exhale it like a fucking human being. It's insane.
That's crazy. What year was that?
That was 2000 and I think it was 2000.
That's amazing.
And
That
then I'll tell you. I mean, there's so many more stories, but this
let's hear
one,
'em.
dude.
Okay.
So part of my job at the zoo was to go around and stop people from tormenting the animals. Like people would just throw rocks at them and shit. Like, and I just go around and I speak French pretty fluently, and I also speak Wolof, which is the native language of Senegal. I lived
Hmm.
there when I was 15. I picked it up. So I go around, and people are not expecting my crazy cripple ass to walk up and speak to you in your native tongue pretty well. And so one time after I befriended the gorilla, um, I was walking around and I came around the corner and there was like five teenage boys collecting rocks to throw at the gorilla. And when I came around the corner, I said, "Loidef," which means "What are you doing?" And they "Oh, nothing, nothing." And then they all five of them kind of were like, "Wait a minute, who the fuck is this guy?" You know, and they puffed themselves up like,
Yeah.
"Who the fuck are you?" And the gorilla ran forward and slammed his body into the cage and made this noise. It was so fucking loud. And those kids scattered in every direction, man. I almost ran away, but he fucking protected me. And I had never felt
Wow.
anything like that in my life where I was like, holy fuck, like I came to protect him and then he was like, "Oh yeah, you forgot the," and like, man,
Yeah, you forgot I'm a fucking gorilla.
right. And I
I
was just like,
protect you, bitch.
right. It's
I mean,
real.
that is crazy. But they are so they're very communal, right?
They're very communal animals. So him by himself in a concrete floor with old bars cage, like just sad to watch it. I did a whole black and white photography when I was there. Just took tons and tons of pictures, and I was just documenting
Yeah.
this sadness of. And then so I'll tell you one more crazy story, and I don't
Yeah.
even know how to begin this, but basically, I'm coming to the end of my time in the zoo, and I decide
How long
that
were you there? How long were you there?
I did a 3 month stay at that time.
Okay.
So within the first month, I became really close to the gorilla, and then I just kept building. And I lived on the zoo grounds. So basically, I could hear lions roaring at night and shit. Like, it's insane.
That's super cool. Which animals are the most active at night?
Oh man, all of them, man. The fucking lions, the hyenas. Hyenas are creepy as fuck, man. Um,
Yeah.
they had so many baboons. They had chimpanzees. They had I mean, I became, I have a bunch of first-hand experience with chimps, but that gorilla to me was my my
Yeah.
boy. So I came up with this idea. Now the gorilla had a pretty big cage as far as the zoo goes, but it was divided in two. So there's a wall of bars down the middle, and then there's a sliding door that. So basically, you clean one side, then you put fruits and veggies on the that side, and then you open the door, and then the gorilla goes over to that side, and you close it, and then you can clean the other side, right? So I decided I wanted my zookeepers to lock me in on display at the zoo on the other side of the gorilla cage. So basically, I shared a wall of bars with the gorilla.
Uh-huh.
And I had them lock me in there. I took off my shirt and my shoes, just shorts, and I just like was an exhibit for a day at the zoo, and it was like the craziest shit you could ever
Wait,
possibly imagine.
wait. Did people, when the zoo was open, like you were an actual exhibit in the zoo when the zoo, people had paid to come in, and in the exhibit next to the gorilla was Josh Blue.
Was Josh Blue, and now mind you, this was
No,
the
mind you.
early 2000s or um I mean very beginning. Uh, you
So
take my cerebral
what was
palsy out of context, like check it out. The thing about like you see a white guy with cerebral palsy. First, you've never seen a white guy with cerebral palsy before. So then you first time you're seeing it is in a cage. Man, people and the zookeepers were like on it. They're like, "Oh yes, that's the boo boo monkey. We just got him in from the mountains of the Congo."
the Boo Boo Monkey?
So the entire day was the boo boo monkey, and bro, it was bonkers. Before cell phones, people must have been going out and calling people like, "You gotta go to the zoo today." Dude, it was the best I ever ate, man. People were throwing me fruits and peanuts, dude. I was just eating. It was amazing, and I shared that wall with the gorilla. He was so
What?
jealous.
How long? So you get to hang out with like, if you saw that, you think that gorilla? How long do gorillas live? I just was about to ask six
Unfortunately,
questions.
he passed, bro.
He did.
He passed.
Sorry to hear that, my friend.
I know. I'm trying to get his skull.
That is bananas.
Come on for air is different this night. Something in the fallout and it's showing you a side. Come on for air is different this night. Something in the fallout and it's showing you a side. Come on for air.